And that kind of gives us the next point of growth, because there is always good and bad with any kind of growth. And we're talking about children and bringing them up in the same community that we love. And they're growing the community itself by learning, by growing, by getting better. It's like society as a whole, because we started off as cave people, and now we can fly planes, make technology, and then every year we get better. Every generation we get better. So imagine what the future of cosplay is going to look like.
They have LED lights now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I remember when cosplay was, look, I had a sheet and I put it on, and I had a toga, and now it's like working moving parts that have sound and lights, and I'm blinded and. What is that?
Like Iron Man, like with the
iron
arc,
chest.
and then the helmet that actually goes and pulls up.
Oh yeah, those are really cool. Those are my favorite.
I mean,
it irritates me when it starts talking in my head. I'm like, shut up.
But what are your thoughts about the growth of cosplay? Because as I mentioned, there is good and bad. So I know we've talked about some of the good, that they're learning skills that are coming up, and then learning not to succumb to, oh, that person is so much better than me, I guess I should never try. That's an overcoming thing of confidence. But what about the bad? Like, what growth has happened that's been bad?
Okay, so I guess I can start this one. So as I've noticed, as somebody that hasn't been in the con circuit as long as most of those people, I go and I see people, and, with the growth comes the worst judgment. You get different fandoms. You have people that have no idea what they're talking about when you bring this costume to them. And so you have, you bring your reference pictures because they don't know what you're doing. And they're just like, oh, well, it's that thing. So it's not as cool as this thing. So we're going to count you against that. Or, your first costume is something like this, and you build big things. And so they put you against people that have been doing this for like 20 years. Right. And they assume just because you worked really hard and you've worked for months or maybe years on a certain project that you're automatically, an advanced level sewer. So you deserve to be judged against somebody who's been doing this forever.
A lot of cons that I've noticed that works really well is you have their professional tier of competition, then you have your entry-level cosplayers.
There's
so
a problem
it does
with that,
give
though,
the diversity.
because there's a lot of people that I've seen spend 2 or 3 years working on a costume, and I've talked to these people outside the con, so they don't know I'm actually one of their future judges. And I've talked to them about, this costume and how they spent, this is the first costume ever, and they spent years working on it. And then they get to this, novice, and the rest of the judges are going, oh, they're just sandbagging. They've been doing this for a while. No, actually, this is what they did. When I've actually gotten to the point, I think one of my best and my worst comments I ever heard was, you didn't win because you're too professional.
That's an oxymoron in and of itself, because my background is that I've ran cosplay shows, I've done judging, I've done pretty much the entire gambit of behind the scenes of conventions. And a lot of times when I'm just a judge, I'm at the mercy of that convention's rule system, how they want to judge all of that. And then when
also
we get
time.
Yeah.
You get 5 seconds to look at a costume, be like, okay. Yay, okay, next, okay.
When we went to Dragon Con, the people that were before us, they had, 15 minutes in the judge's room, and they were going over every single detail. And when we were looking up the research of what Dragon Con judges wanted, based on their page, they told us to bring in pictures, reference pictures, even though they know the character. We brought in pages upon pages of reference pictures. We brought in pictures of us building stuff, and we had a whole 5 minutes. She can't really talk because she's in the costume.
Right.
And, I felt that
they actually took points off because I took the helmet off to talk to them.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because we didn't have some kind of
one of the judges
system.
asked me to take my helmet off, and another judge took points off because I broke character.
Yeah. So, we still, for us being the first time at Dragon Con, never entering anything that, we kind of looked at pictures of what everybody brought in. So we figured it was go big or go home at Dragon.
Right.
We got honorable mentions, which is amazing for us. And, so we were really proud of it.
Yeah.
But, only getting that, 5 minutes in there with the judges kind of felt like they didn't care.
Right. I learned one thing. When it comes to costume contests, I never enter to win it anymore. I enter now to showcase my stuff.
Right.
Be like, I made this. I am proud of it. I want you to see what I made. More or less, I want pictures of what I made because I'm notorious for being like, I made this costume and I wore it. Where are your pictures?
I don't know.
I think I have to go search online somewhere, and I might find one or two.
And even then, it's someone with a cell phone nowadays, and it's kind of blurry. Their thumb might be in it, and that's what I'm suffering. Like, I'm trying to redo my website, and I have been cosplaying since like 98, 99, and I've done like 3 or 4 costumes a convention at some points, and I just don't have the photos.
Yeah, we actually went and paid to have pictures of Pyramid Head and Alessa, and we have them up on our page, and we're absolutely in love with them. Like, every time we do this, every time we've decided every new con we're going to that has a photo booth set up, we're going to go take pictures of the new costumes because it's just so much fun. Yeah. I love being able to go, hey, look what we did.
Oh, no, close your teeth, grit your teeth like a grill. I will carry you myself through the gate. Yeah!